Hello and welcome back to the Blue and Gold Recap for the week of February 16th. I'm Ronnie Decker, and I'm going over Marquette High activities and sports from these past weeks. We'll start with hockey. The MUHS hockey team put on a show last week Friday, February 13th, against Wapaka, winning by a score of 8-0. Thomas Kaltenbach put on an elite performance, scoring a hat trick with 5 other players chipping into this dominating senior night performance. This put the hockey team at 10-13, snapping a 5-game losing streak as the regular season came to an end. The boys then carried the momentum into the playoffs against Arrowhead on Tuesday, February 17th. It was a scoreless first 2 periods, but then a power play in the third set Marquette up for a goal from Cliff Radke. Arrowhead would then proceed to tie the game up with 5 minutes left in the third. The boys saw the tie and ensured Arrowhead would not sniff a win. Goals from James Sortino and Thomas Kaltenbach closed it out as the Hilltoppers won 3-1. The next game is against USM at USM on Friday, February 20th. Roll Top. MUHS Wrestling competed at the sectional tournament at Brown Deer this past weekend. Unfortunately, the wrestlers saw their season come to an end as no wrestlers qualified for the state tournament in Madison. Despite this, the wrestling team saw much improvement from last year. The Hilltoppers had 3 wrestlers in Alex Muha, Asadou Lenore, and Luke Sanchez take third, as opposed to last year when only 1 wrestler placed in the top 3. The wrestling team and coaches would like to thank this year's senior class of Asadou Lenore, Charlie Hayes, Cruz Azaline, Luke Sanchez, Andy Lemperger, Emery Leuterman, and Chris Lopez for their contributions to the team over these past 4 years. Congrats to the wrestling team on a good season. Roll Top. Hilltopper basketball started this week by losing in a close, hard-fought game against Tosa East by the score of 90-86. Then the Hilltoppers had a difficult game on February 17th, losing by a score of 104-69. The Hilltoppers play again on Friday, February 20th against Brookfield Central in the Humphrey Gymnasium for senior night. Roll Top. The Marquette swim and dive team won the Muskego sectional with a dramatic last event win to overcome a 2-point deficit. They won the state qualifying meet, finishing with 375 team points. Bridge Chata won the diving event on Friday, and Paul Angara finished second in diving. The 200 medley relay of Raleigh Belansky, Patrick Donnelly, Declan Foy, and Thomas Groth took first place overall. Declan Foy won the 200 and 500 freestyles, while Patrick Donnelly led the crowd in the 200 IM and 100 breaststroke, with the latter being a pool record. Then the dramatic finish on the last event, the 400 free relay. The squad of Declan Foy, Thomas Groth, Tim Matthews, and Patrick Donnelly overcame a late deficit to take the team title. But the sectional team championship needed a full team effort. Next up, the state championships on Saturday at Waukesha South. Roll Top. The Marquette High Science Olympiad team traveled to the University of Michigan this past Saturday for the annual competition with 4 of the top 10 teams in the country. The varsity team placed 3rd overall with the following awards. First place in Disease Detectives, Codebusters, Anatomy and Physiology, and Bungee Drop. Second place in Remote Sensing, Protein Modeling, Designer Genes, Entomology, and in Forensics. Third place in Boom Lever. Fourth place in Astronomy. Fifth place in Machines and in Robotic Tour. And 6th place in Rock and Minerals. The trip was fun, competitive, and educational, and the team looks forward to returning to Ann Arbor next year. This past Saturday, the Hilltopper Powerlifting team competed at Germantown High School. They had 41 athletes compete, the largest number to ever compete at a single meet in the 26-year history of the program. The team brought home first place overall once again, marking 3 consecutive years at the regional meet. Individually, the athletes delivered outstanding performances, including 20 placers with 2 champions and multiple state qualifiers. Beyond the hardware, what stood out most to the coaches were the goals achieved, personal records shattered, and all the ways the young men represented Marquette High with toughness, energy, and class. If you see any of the students in the halls this week, take a moment to congratulate them. Roll Top. This past weekend, the Marquette High Webster Club competed at Madison West Forensics and Student Congress tournaments. Will McCunna took first place in prose, Vincent Mangan was first in extemporaneous speaking and a finalist in extemporaneous reading. Joey Weiner finished as a finalist in impromptu, and Emilio Ramirez was second in Student Congress. Congratulations to all the guys. They will look to carry these performances into next week's GMC tournament. Roll Top. That's it for this week in Hilltopper Sports and Announcements. Roll Top.